All right, welcome in to Studio C. Clip Brock with the Hall of Famer, the host of the Brian Bailey Show, the host of Brian Bailey's Touchdown Friday, WNCT Channel 9 Sports Director. He does it all. He is Brian Bailey. BB, how you doing, man?
Not too bad. How are you?
I am good. Somebody last week during the interview on our YouTube chat in the Chili Water Chat gang said, hey, can you get Brian Bailey a mic stand? We have a mic stand.
We do. I just don't like using it.
Yeah. And you're just kind of, I don't know if that's old school, but that's just.
I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, but I guess the way the thing is, it's kind of, to me, it's cumbersome. You have to lean up. So I do my own thing.
He's
man.
Comfortable.
Do my own thing.
Bailey, you've done a lot of stuff. You MC a lot of events. You've hosted events, host shows. You ever hosted a game show or thought like you'd be a good game show host?
Come on now.
Yeah.
You're the next contestant on the, they did a game show years, and we found this videotape when we were, Ken Wallington was working on the 70th anniversary of the station, and it was Family Feud.
Was it like at the mall?
It was at the mall.
I think I was there.
Well, I think Little Clip was there. I remember. I stole a foul ball came out, and I swiped it away.
Ray Combs?
Ray Combs.
Yeah.
And I think Ray Combs committed suicide years later. Not because he went to Greenville. No, I'm serious.
I know he did.
He did.
I don't know why you would bring that up right now.
Well, I mean, it's just part of it.
I don't think it's related.
Well, you don't know. You don't know what put him over the edge. But I think we lost J-Bone.
J-Bone's done.
But yeah, it was crazy that we had Ken Hagler was a part of that. It was the lawyers and
Doctors versus lawyers.
It could have been that.
Or maybe that was a basketball.
That was
game.
a basketball, the Med Law Classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was as close as I've ever come to actually being a game show.
Were you involved
host.
in it?
Yeah, I was. We were there. I think we competed against them. I think that's what it was.
And I remember that from my childhood. I remember some Young and the Restless actors and actresses coming to Greenville.
Yeah, they would come from time to time. They came a lot for the Michael Jordan Celebrity Golf Classic.
Good old stuff. We need to bring something like that back.
That'd be great. Yeah, it was a sad day.
Golf Classic.
Yeah, well, we're not going to get the same star power as Michael Jordan, obviously, but it would be fun.
Yeah. All right, BB. Man, speaking of fun, had a fun Sunday at the Buccaneer Music Hall. Me and Jarrett and Chandler and Zach and his family all out there rooting for our teams and cheering and cussing and just having a good old time. But the NFL is back, and boy, these night games have been awesome.
They have been.
Cowboys-Eagles was a great game.
Yeah.
And
that's when I did my cheering and cussing. Was on Thursday night.
At tiebreakers.
Tiebreakers.
Yeah.
TBs.
And then you had Friday night was a good game.
It was.
Chargers beating the Chiefs. Sunday night was the game of the year already in week 1.
That was crazy, yeah.
And then last night, I had the Vikings, so when I left the Buck around halftime, I was like, well, that's a loss for me.
Yeah.
And then it turned into a double-digit win for Minnesota as they really flipped the script. J.J. McCarthy figured it out as the game went along, and Brian Flores and that Vikings defense, I guess, figured out Caleb Williams. They went in the mud, basically.
They did. That second half, they were awful offensively. The Bears were. So you kind of got to wait to see what you're going to find out in that division because Green Bay looked incredible. Minnesota looked good.
Detroit.
They did smoke Detroit. And this is – you guys are going to laugh at me. But the whole Micah Parsons thing this first week, he was good. He was good.
Overblown.
But it was so overblown.
Yeah.
He had a sack. And he ran the quarterback down, and the coach LaFleur afterwards said it was like a bolt of lightning coming through. It was 27-6 when he did it. Come on.
They're making up NFL stats like they would show 5 pressures, 1 sack, 1 forced interception. Like that's not a stat,
right?
Like that, like they just made that up to put something else on his like bottom line.
And whether the trade works out or not, it works out great for Dallas if Dallas does a great job with their draft picks. Now, if they pick Mozzie Smith 2 times, it's not going to work out so well. But they've got a guy in there that I think knows what he's doing. And I think that they've got a chance.
Jerry just saw that.
Maybe not Jerry, but
he saw the documentary on Netflix and said, "I'm about to do the Herschel Walker trade all over again. I'm about to do
the great train robbery.
I'm about to do it again." Packers and Commanders Thursday night. Everybody get your bets in on the Packers. They're the best team in the league.
There you go. Get them going
and see what happens.
Yeah,
weirdly confident that Jaden Daniels loves playing at night. Like I think we're in this thing. I think we got a chance.
Well, as long as you block the stat sheet off of Micah, you got a chance.
Yeah, all those fake stats he's bringing to the table.
I'm glad you agree. We agree on something. How about that?
Oh yeah,
pretty soon he'll be wearing a star on his hat.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. Other week one overreactions. Best coach and quarterback Jarrett's ever seen in an Oakland organization. He is fired up after their week one win against New England.
Yeah, they're 1-0.
Gino was throwing it. Who's the worst team? Miami Giants are up there.
Panthers are up there.
Congratulations, Russell Wilson starting this week, so Dallas can get a win.
Wow,
they are pitiful, Bailey. I'm telling you.
Well, they were, and sometimes teams, they figure it out before they get. But I hope not.
I don't see
the spread's only 4.5.
I know that don't look right.
Yeah,
either.
That's why I worry.
But
they know something.
But man, so glad to have that back in our lives, along with, of course, college football and high school football. A lot of Pirate fans will be making the trip to Conway this weekend.
And I think they'll enjoy it. Like I said on my show earlier, I mean, the area there is really nice. Obviously, we were there for baseball, not for football. I don't know how it's going to be with 22,000 going to a stadium. I guess it was the baseball stadium probably seated 4 or 5, maybe 6.
And it felt like what, 8 or 9,000?
It felt like a bunch. Now it was a great atmosphere. The games were great. I mean, it was a lot of fun. We had the Florida controversy going on, and it was just it was nice regional. When you come out of a regional and you don't win it, you're disappointed. But still, I think a lot of Pirate fans enjoyed being down there, and I think it's going to be a great atmosphere this week.
If I was not an ECU graduate and a pessimistic sports fan, and I saw the line on this game, I would immediately bet on ECU. Coastal has been sleepwalking through this first 2 weeks offensively, and East Carolina, take out the first 3 or 4 drives of the season, they look like they belong. They look like a competitive team that is going to win a lot of games this year. So on paper, they should go down there and win by double digits, but we know how this thing works, Bailey. And at some point, like you said, Coastal will wake up. ECU's on the road, tough environment. So I think it'll end up being a close game. I'm comparing it to some of the trips to Old Dominion we've made the last few years where it's like, God, why are we only up 3 in the fourth quarter? I feel like we should have pulled away, but I'm expecting a tough one.
I think that's a good comparison too, because I think it's a game that I think East Carolina, they need to win. Obviously, they should win, but you roll that ball out there and you don't know what's going to happen. But when you look at what Coastal has done so far, they've done absolutely nothing. The Virginia game was just abysmal. And then the last game against Charleston Southern, I mean, that's a 1-11 football team in the FCS ranks from last year. So they didn't have a lot going for them either. It was 3-0, I think, in the fourth quarter before they were able to pull away.
And they pulled away by a total of what, 13?
13-0 was the final.
It
wasn't really a blowout.
We'll do our state of North Carolina college football rankings with Ken Watlington on Wednesday, and NC State will remain my number 1 because they're 2-0. How about them winning the same way they won against ECU, backs against the wall?
Both of their games, the opponents have been, around the 10-yard line in the final seconds. And the Pirates were at the 9. I think Virginia might have been at the 11, but I'm not sure about that. We were watching that one at the Pirate Radio tailgate. And first down, I think it was first down, and he threw a pick.
And a terrible
decision.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
North Carolina will get out of the cellar, but we'll see for how long after they beat Charlotte. And Duke, I talked to David Glenn, who was in Durham right after the game, and we agreed that score was not as bad. It was a 1-score game in the late third, early fourth quarter, and it really got away from them. They got another tough one this week. They go to Tulane, which is going to be an interesting game.
That will be interesting because Tulane's got to be one of the top picks in the American, and year in and year out they are. And you've got to think this year they will be as well. So
South Florida is giving Pirate fans
how about
vibes
that?
of 2008. I saw somebody, the Reddit College Football put out, is this the best 2-0 start to a season for a G5 team since 08 East Carolina?
Yeah.
When they knocked off Virginia Tech and West Virginia. But, man, they go to the Swamp and win. They hammer Boise. do they get a cupcake? No. Now they go to Miami.
Yeah. And that's going to be very difficult. But what they've already accomplished,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just amazing. That's great for the American. I mean, that's what the American has to do. You know, you think back to some of the other games. If the Pirates could have pulled it out against State, that would have helped. But you get one of those teams to pull off a couple, and South Florida's done that.
Army going to Manhattan and beating Kansas State was a big win.
Yeah,
as well.
especially coming off their loss.
Yeah, it is the crazy world of college athletics now with the portal and guys switching spots. It really does feel like this year, and we'll see how it plays out. But this might be a year where we see like 7 different number ones and maybe no dominant team. We'll see.
I think the SEC is going to beat up on one another.
Yeah.
I mean, week in and week out, what are you going to get there? I don't think you're going to see a team run the table.
I heard before last Saturday on the way in listening to Pirate Radio. Now, this guy was a Zach Kaplan, Alex Walker, Tyler Feldman, Penn State grad. So take it for what it is. But he said
some of those Penn State grads are really good guys. Some of them are.
Zach?
Zach is.
Okay. But he said the Big Ten's already ahead of the SEC, and the gap is about to widen even further. And I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know if I believe
He
that
was talking
either.
about apparel deals and stuff I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
But I'm not ready to say that yet. It's a very important year for Penn State because they are picked at near the top. Ohio State coming off a championship. Michigan the champion 2 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, they do have the last 2 national champions, but
right.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I still, when you think of college football in the South, you think of SEC football. And a lot of times people will look at East Carolina and say they have an SEC-type atmosphere, which I think they do.
Brian, on Friday, I said, man, I'm glad to see Farmville and Conley playing again. That's pretty cool. And
great game, wasn't it?
I disagree. Get them off the schedule. But, man, how about the Jaguars beating the Vikes?
Big win for Farmville Central, and they've got another one this week. West Craven comes to town.
Nice.
West Craven's pretty good. They had a tough battle with New Bern and had a little bit of a altercation after that game last week. But, we're starting to see some of the teams, the contenders and the pretenders type thing. Rose lost to a Laney team that Conley beat in week 1, and the Rapids just struggled tackling. I mean, there were 2 touchdowns, long touchdowns that Laney scored, and the guy broke like 3 or 4 or 5 tackles at a time, and they really struggled with that aspect of the game.
I still got Rose like the Chiefs. Like, yeah, they're going to lose, but they'll be there.
They'll figure it out now. Will Bland can figure it out in the playoffs.
I don't know how.
That was, what were they, 2-8 when they started the playoffs last year, and they just started winning games.
How about did South Central win?
South Central did win.
3-0 start.
South Central's off to a 3-0 start. Yeah,
good for them.
Yep, they're in our top 9, and they moved up a couple of notches. So yeah, South Central did win.
That's a little surprising, I guess.
Yep, Parrott Academy's 4-0, and JP2 is 3-0. So the 2 private schools right there, both undefeated.
Touchdown Friday coming up on Friday. Where are you going to be?
I'll be here. I'll be doing Touchdown Friday, and then we'll get up Saturday morning and go to Conway.
Saturday morning. Interesting.
Yeah. What's the matter with that?
No, well, we got people here at Pirate Radio leaving on Wednesday for a Saturday night game.
Really? Who's that?
Well,
Yeah.
Chandler. But we'll talk about that later.
No, we're going to get up Saturday morning.
I think they're walking there, Bailey.
Saturday, well, there you go. We're going to get up Saturday morning. We hope to do what we did last year when we went to Liberty, kind of get up there around lunchtime, find a sports bar. Although I was there for 4 or 5 days for the regional, I never found a sports bar near Conway. So
and Brian Bailey's a
some
sports
research.
bar hunter. So
Yeah, I am.
if he can't find one, there ain't one.
Well, I didn't look real hard
help
because
him out.
there were enough seafood restaurants in Myrtle Beach that you could figure out somewhere to eat. But
man,
I'd like to find one.
I told so Hannah, my favorite bartender of all time, at the Buck now was at Bowley's. She was at O'Cool's. She was at AJ's. I've followed her entire career,
Man.
like a coach. Like but I told her last night. I said, "Man, week 1 makes me miss Bowley's and O'Cool's. I used to watch games up there." And I said, "O'Cool's having the games on top of the TV. Remember that, Bailey?"
Yeah, I remember that.
And she said, "We were gonna do that last week. Something happened, but starting week 2, they're gonna do that at the Buck. They're gonna have the games,
Wow.
the laminated, and that's nostalgia right there. That, makes me miss Steve and Linus and O'Cool's.
Well, nothing like those guys. They were great guys, and nothing like Bowley's pizza, pepperoni pizza from Bowley's. Man,
But man, we are lucky to have some great sports bars in Greenville.
We are.
Tiebreakers does it,
Yeah,
better than
they're
just
the best,
about
I
anybody.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but we got some great spots to watch games, and this is the time of the year for that.
Yes,
So
it is.
we are excited about it. All right, anything else, BB?
No, I think that's it. I think Pirates have to go down and take care of business, and that will set up with just a real
man.
exciting week coming up for the BYU week. And I had a chance to go to BYU last time. That was a great, amazing trip. So now BYU is coming here, so that'll be fun.
I heard Zach Kaplan say it, and I think about Donnell, the new writer from the Reflector. They kind of hear about a rowdy dowdy, and we tell them about it, but until they see it and experience it, it's just lip service. But there's a chance if the Pirates go 2-1, look good, then there's going to be a lot of folks packed in for BYU. And I'd rather it be at noon selfishly. But for the atmosphere and everything, 7:30 under the lights, ESPN2, that fires you up.
It does fire you up, and I'd rather have it at noon as well.
Right.
But I think 7:30, it'll be a huge crowd, hopefully, and hopefully we can get everybody that hadn't seen it, see it again. It's
All
great.
Right. BB, we'll check you out Friday night on Brian Bailey's Touchdown Friday.
Looking forward to it.